Okay, I mm, can't tell if we're on or not on. Um, okay, so much for not having technical issues. I apologize. I think we've um, been able to reconnect. I'm not sure. I'm going to wait for a message that says I am back on live, and hopefully some people are also able to reconnect. So I'm going to actually start guiding the meditation while I'm still live. These meditations, this is the fifth in our series, are mindfulness practices that are meant as a support for the inner refuge practice that is one of the core teachings of Rinpoche. The inner refuge practice is the full moon monthly meditation. That's the focus of the practice. And with this mindfulness practice, it's about really finding a way to connect more fully with ourselves so that we can connect with this inner refuge. So, to begin the practice, just notice how you are in this moment. I notice, for instance, a little bit of stress from the technical issues. Hopefully, this video will continue uninterrupted. And just notice your environment. Notice what you are seeing if your eyes are open, and if they're not, maybe just open them for a moment. Notice light, colors, shapes, and also notice the space that allows you and all the objects around you to be there. And then bring your attention closer to yourself, to the sense of the body. And now, if it's comfortable, maybe let the eyes close and adjust your posture in any way that might be supportive. Feeling the contact that your body's making with the support beneath, and really allow yourself to be supported. Perhaps letting the breath help you to release any sense of holding, tension that you don't need in this moment. So taking a few slow, deep, gentle breaths. With each exhalation, inviting the body to let go. Just breath by breath, releasing into that support that is there beneath you. And then release even the effort to let go. Allow the breath to just find its own natural rhythm, pace, and allow your attention to very simply rest with the feeling of the body breathing. And with mindfulness, you don't need to control the breath. You don't have to think about the breath. It's more the feeling of the breath, sensing the breath as it comes and goes. And the quality of attention that we bring with mindfulness is that it's not judging, it's also not striving, not efforting. It's gentle, it's kind, and it's also curious about the experience. So just bringing this quality of curiosity to your experience of the moment, the experience of the body breathing. Just wherever you feel the breath most easily. Sometimes it's the feeling of air coming in and out through the nostrils. At other times, you may be able to sense the breath more fully in the movement of the chest, the rising and falling of the belly. or maybe just a sense of the whole body breathing. Doesn't matter where, but wherever you are sensing the breath most easily, most vividly, just lightly allow attention to rest there. So the sensations of breathing are supporting attention to be present, just one moment at a time. And there is no right or wrong way to breathe, so you can let the sensations be as they are. You might notice sometimes the breath is fast, sometimes it's slow, sometimes deep, sometimes subtle. So with this particular practice, you just let it be exactly as it is. And you can also let everything else be as it is. Other sensations, sounds, thoughts, emotions, nothing you have to try to get rid of. And also, for now, nothing else you need to engage with. For these few moments, just allowing yourself to simply be present with the sensations of breathing, just one breath at a time. And you've probably noticed attention does get carried away, gets caught up in these virtual worlds generated by thought. And this is just what our minds do. So, no need to get frustrated with that or to judge it when it happens. But each time you notice that, really take that in. In that moment of noticing, you are present. And then you just reconnect attention for now with just the sensations of breathing that are actually already happening in the moment. Knowing this act of bringing the attention back again and again is the practice that strengthens our capacity to be present. In this way, we're strengthening our connection to our innate natural presence. So each time attention gets disconnected, you can recognize, you can reconnect, and you can rest again in that connection. And now, if it feels right for you, expanding your attention from the kind of focus on the sensations of breathing, opening up to a sense of the whole body. So, in addition to the sensations of breathing, just taking in all the other sensations of contact, of temperature, and the kind of energy in the body. You might notice some sensations are pleasant, some are unpleasant, and as much as possible, not judging, letting go if judgments arise, letting go of worries, and just being with the movement, the dance of sensations. So attention suffused through the whole body, not needing to control the experience. This is not about looking for what's not working in the body, but more really resting in this embodied presence, just moment by moment. If you prefer, you can just continue to stay more with just the feeling of the breath. That can be an anchor for attention, what you can come back to anytime attention gets pulled away. But if it's comfortable for you to have a more kind of broader attention to rest sensations in the body as a whole. And anytime you notice attention was caught up in some virtual world of thought, judgment, just kind of lost, and you become aware, take a moment to notice if your body tightened up in response to this virtual world. We often do without even becoming aware that we've tightened the kind of fight, flight, freeze response that can get turned on just even by a passing thought. So if you do notice that, take a little bit of time to invite the body to soften, to relax, to let go, and then you just rest again. The feeling of the body as a whole, or just being with the breath. And if it feels right, begin to open beyond the sense of the body, just aware of the space around you, maybe really feeling the contact with the support beneath you, the touch of air against the skin, and open to receiving all the sounds traveling through that air. The sounds of these words, the sounds in your environment, knowing that with listening, there's nothing you really have to do. Sounds are just known by awareness. So let yourself rest in this receptive awareness, receiving sounds, and also receiving the silence between sounds, underneath all sound. Letting go for now of having to do anything else. And let yourself just rest. Resting now through listening, listening into presence. Sound becomes the kind of anchor for attention, or rather, listening is the anchor because it could be silence that we're listening to. And it's also the gateway back into presence now. Anytime we notice we were carried away, caught up in some virtual world. And we'll continue to expand attention. And so take a moment now just to turn your attention to the process of thinking. Sometimes when we do that, we turn towards the thinking process, might notice all thoughts just disappear. Or you might notice a lot of thinking is happening. So it's not so much about the content of the thoughts, but more observing this process of thinking. Might notice how thoughts arise, dissolve. Some thoughts have a strong current, might have thoughts about sounds that seem to appear out of nowhere. Might notice how you like some thoughts, want to push others away. So all of this is about really understanding this process of thinking. We get very caught in the thoughts, in the current of thoughts. And here we're trying to kind of observe more, as if you could take a step back and just observe this river of thoughts. That's just an analogy. But you might notice so often we fall into the river, get carried by the current of thinking. And actually noticing that is noticing the process of thinking. You might observe how some thoughts are quite light, others are very sticky, dense, and some carry a kind of emotional charge. And now just open to any emotions, any mood states that might be here for you. You don't have to figure out or analyze. but just opening to any emotional quality or qualities. Sometimes it's very clear what we're feeling. Sometimes it may be a mix of emotions. Sometimes it's neutral. And like thoughts, there are some emotions we like, some emotions we want to push away. But practicing in this way, we can really learn to see and understand how all emotions just come and go if we let them be, if we let them move through, if we can give them the space to be, to breathe. And for the remaining few moments of the practice now, just open up to all of experience, just allowing the flow of experience moment by moment and letting yourself rest back in this awareness itself that can allow for everything, for sensations, for sounds, for thoughts, for emotions. Not clinging to anything, not pushing anything away, allowing yourself to be as you are, allowing everything to be as it is. And knowing if you need some additional support, you can just let attention gently be with the feeling of the breath coming and going. But if it's comfortable for you to rest in this open awareness, rest here. Really allowing yourself to be exactly as you are and to rest in this awareness of being. And anytime you get disconnected and you become aware of that, really appreciate that recognition, that moment of awareness arising. If necessary, take a few deep, gentle breaths to release any effort, any tension, and then just open and rest again in this open awareness. Trusting this quality of being and this awareness of being. This is the refuge. Letting yourself be exactly as you are. Letting go for now of having to do anything, having to be any other way. Knowing that this awareness is healing, refreshing, rejuvenating. That when we take time to connect with this, we are recharging ourselves, resourcing ourselves, so that when it is time to get to what we have to do, we can come from this more refreshed, recharged, centered space of being. And as the meditation comes to a close, just receiving the sounds of the bell, I'm trusting that they will go through. But if they don't, just allow yourself to open to sounds in your environment. Thank you so much for being here, for being a part of CyberSangha. There is a full moon practice coming up on Sunday, February 1st. I hope you'll be able to join part of that 24-hour session. And there's also going to be an interactive course, which I will be guiding. And it really is lovely to be able to be on Zoom and to see each other and be able to listen to each other. That is my favorite way. The Facebook Lives are okay, but I much prefer when I can see the people I'm with. So thank you, everyone. Much love. Be well. Take the best of care.